We're glad to have you join us once again. I am Lydia Odide-Ochi. You can follow this news live on our website, nta.ng/live, NTA News Now, and other social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the establishment of a Presidential Transition Council for facilitating and managing the 2023 transition program. In a statement by Director of Information, Office of the SGF, Willie Bassi, members of the committee include Secretary to the Government of the Federation as Chairman, Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Solicitor General of the Federation, Permanent Secretaries of Defense, Interior, Finance, Foreign Affairs, FCT Administration, Special Duties, Offices of Cabinet Affairs, General Services, Economic and Political Affairs, State House, NSA, CDS, IGP, DSS, Supreme Court, and 2 representatives from the President-elect. They are expected to be inaugurated by the SGF on February 14, 2023. Also, the President has signed the Executive Order No. 14 of 2023 on the facilitation and management of the presidential transitions, providing a legal framework for seamless transition of presidential power. The Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, through the National Universities Commission, has directed the suspension of academic activities at all universities and inter-university centers from 22nd of February to 14th of March 2023. This follows an extensive consultation with relevant bodies to enable students and staff participate in the 2023 general elections. INEC says it is a law-abiding institution and the Supreme Court judgment on delineation of the Warri Federal Constituency will be given attention. The promise was made when representatives of the affected constituency visited the INEC headquarters in Abuja.
That our position is not against the conduct of elections, but rather that the delineation of the units and wards should precede the conduct of elections in the Warri Federal Constituency as against conducting elections on the already destroyed fictitious units and wards, which will eventually amount to a nullity that cannot be salvaged by any political arrangement.
I want to also assure you that INEC is a law-abiding institution, and that's the reason why up till now you can hear court judgment here and there. INEC is accommodating all because we are not a law-breaking institution. INEC will look into a matter and do the needful.
The Nigerian Armed Forces has put up critical measures in place to support peaceful conduct of the 2023 general elections in the South. This was reiterated at the periodic Defense Media Operations briefing at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, covering 26 January to 9 February 2023.
Operations have equally been stepped up in that particular region. And to a large extent, from the reports from the brief you have received today, you find out that there has not been too much activities going on there. Of recent, election was conducted in Anambra State, and it was successful.
On ongoing armed forces operations across the country, the Director, Defense Media Operations, announced that 65 kidnapped victims were rescued, 86 unrepentant terrorists were eliminated during different operations, while an Eastern Security Network and IPOB collaborator was arrested.
School of Biafra and Eastern Security Network activities at Country Primary School, Amaruru, in Odu local government area of Imo State, and made contact with the terrorists. Following the firefight, troops neutralized 1 terrorist and destroyed 10 motorcycles. Troops also recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, destroyed the terrorist shrine. Troops arrested a suspected indigenous people of Biafra and Eastern Security Network collaborator. Preliminary investigation revealed that the suspect was responsible for the recruitment and initiation of youths for the terrorist group, as well as being a spy for the terrorists.
Similarly, 40 illegal crude oil refining sites in the South were deactivated, while 39 boats on economic sabotage mission were apprehended. Deepening stakeholders' participation and amplifying voices of citizens for peaceful 2023 general elections formed reasons for a stakeholders forum and signing of peace accord by political parties in Cross River State. Udwak Etem reports that only 4 signed the peace accord out of 17 political parties registered with INEC in Cross River State.
Aligned with the nation's political peace accord committee, political parties in Cross River State gathered under one roof to agree that the 2023 general election is a game that must be pursued according to the rules. This is in furtherance to the attainment of a better democratic and violence-free elections in Nigeria. The Cross River State Peace Committee, supported by the National Peace Committee, Interagency and Consultative Committee on Election Security, as well as United Nations, are advocating peaceful conduct of 2023 general elections. Hence, the hosting of the stakeholders meeting and signing of peace accord by various political parties in Cross River State.
We believe that there should be peace, and we will work towards peace.
The National Peace Committee is open, is willing to provide the needed moral intervention.
For stakeholders, peace building is a collective effort, and all participating in the forthcoming elections should abide by the rules.
Seriously appealing to politicians to please advise their members that peace during election is necessary.
I urge all various political parties to educate their members to develop a high sense of political tolerance.
It is my hope that the elections in your state reflect the core values of this state.
However, Inter-Party Advisory Council (IPAC) did not support the peace accord, claiming that its grievances have not been addressed.
The governorship candidate salient issues bordering on the nation will be tackled. While congratulating the newly inaugurated campaign council, Senator Abe urged them to serve in their various capacities for the overall interest of the party. He reassured Rivers people that if elected, his government will create opportunities for wealth and people-oriented governance.
All we need to do is to go and do what we have agreed to do. Let us go and work. A brighter future awaits all Rivers people. We can actually build a community here in Rivers State that will give all of us an opportunity to prosper, that will bring security to our children.
The moment has come for all of us to put our hands together to rescue and restore what our forefathers worked for and left for us to inherit.
I pray God Almighty will give us the strength, the courage to stand firm till the end, in the mighty name of Jesus.
There were presentations of the SDP candidate for Rivers South-East Senatorial Zone and over 50 decampees from Kalabari. In Port Harcourt, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
I apologize for the freezing of that report. Going on now, still on the general elections, a total of 789,318 permanent voter cards have been collected in Ekiti State, which translates to 80% collection. INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in Ekiti State, Professor Abayomi Salami, who disclosed this at a stakeholders meeting in Ado Ekiti, says 199,000 PVCs are yet to be collected. Olubukola Aduo has details.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says it is putting finishing touches to preparations for a free, fair and acceptable presidential, national and state assembly elections in the state. This expanded stakeholders gathering held in Ado Ekiti is one of such moves. The electoral body says the commission is not only committed but set to deliver on its mandate without compromising standards, as it has trained electoral officials, relocated some registration area camps, racks, collation centers, and also decongested some polling units due to insecure or inappropriateness of their locations.
What INEC has just done is to look at the less congested polling units close to the congested one and redistribute some voters from the areas that were congested to the areas that were less congested.
At the ceremony, some chairmen and deputy chairmen of participating political parties in the state signed the peace accord document.
our party, being at the national, the head of affairs in the state, we can assure you there won't be a problem.
We've been preaching peace to our people. I will continue to do that.
They have seen the challenges that we have always had, and they are looking for solutions. So if we all look for solutions, we all believe that Nigeria can be better.
Now that the peace accord has been signed, it is now imperative for all political parties and all other major stakeholders to ensure that peace reign before, during and after the general elections in Ekiti State. In Ado-Ekiti, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
A data dashboard that will promote inclusivity within the disability community in the 2023 general elections has been presented to security agencies in Nigeria by the Albino Foundation Africa. Elizabeth Omori reports that the dashboard will enhance electoral participation of all clusters of disability.
Multiple research indicates that an estimated 19 million Nigerians living with disabilities are registered voters, but full participation is still a challenge. The Cherry News is that a data dashboard on real time has been designed to accommodate persons living with disabilities to perform their civic responsibilities.
The police is poised to replicate the successes it has achieved in various off-season elections on a wider scale all over the nation during the upcoming general election.
The NSCDC is ready to collaborate with special reputable organizations, security agencies, the INEC, to ensure that persons with disabilities do not have any challenges to exercise their voting rights.
For us to get involved in the electoral process and exercise our franchise, we will depend on you to protect us. We will depend on you to guide us.
INEC, the national electoral body, is optimistic that the initiative will provide seamless access to persons living with disabilities to aid provision of assistive devices during elections.
The Commission has finalized plans to provide for their specific assistive needs, such as the brave ballot guide in 5,958 polling units.
The data dashboard is expected to provide necessary information to security agencies on real time, which will activate physical response to eliminate insecurity. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari celebrates Dr. Emeka Offor as he marks his 64th birthday, describing him as a dynamic personality and a global figure in humanitarian affairs. In a statement by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, President Buhari commended the celebrant for his successful work to end polio and the ongoing campaign against river blindness in virtually all parts of the country. The President wishes Offor immense happiness, peace and good health on his birthday. You're watching Nationwide. Let's go over to Lagos, where Hingino is standing by with more reports. Hello, Hingino.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced 50% reduction in transportation fares in Lagos State-run mass transit schemes as part of temporary palliatives to cushion the effect of fuel and cash scarcity across the metropolis. Musa Toliat reports that the governor made the announcement at a media interactive forum at the State House in Lagos.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says, in view of the fact that fuel and cash scarcity have been raising tensions in various parts of the country, the commercial nerve center of Nigeria cannot afford another reign of unrest and civil disobedience after the 2020 end-SARS crisis. This necessitated the rollout of palliatives to cushion the effect of the prevailing economic challenges across the metropolis.
We've had 2-3 different meetings with Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited on the lingering fuel crisis. Our discussion with them has led to us suspending the road construction that we're having on Buba Marua Road on Ijegwegba, so that tankers can have free and unhindered access all around Ijegwegba. We have agreed with them to commence 24-hour fuel sales at various petrol stations that want to have a 24-hour cycle.
The governor also says arrangements have been concluded to set up food banks in strategic places to alleviate the plight of residents.
For the next 1 week, on all of the passenger routes within all of our buses and our ferries and our taxis, passengers will enjoy a 50% discount.
He assured residents of watertight security put in place to contain any form of civil disobedience that may arise as a result of the prevailing economic downturn in any part of the state. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Customers of some commercial banks in Lagos were left disappointed following abrupt closure of operations to the public. Abolade Salami reports that the closure affected both cashless and cash transactions.
Bank customers, as usual, gathered at different banks, mostly around the Ikeja and some parts of the mainland, to engage in both cashless and cash transactions, only to be greeted by private security operatives who told them that the banks were not opened for the day, while some curious customers interacted with the security operatives to find out why the financial institutions are closed to customers without prior notice. The few banks rendering services had presence of police personnel to forestall any attempt to foment trouble.
I hardly see the security. Nobody to talk to, nobody to explain what is going on. I said, can I even go in and talk to someone at the customer care? They said no.
So before we were about 10 or 20, if it's up to 20 cents, before 10 people withdraw, before you know, you say money, there's no more money.
Meanwhile, most of the financial institutions with headquarters on the island were reported to have closed before the normal closing time, attributing the development to fear of attack on their facility due to non-availability of the redesigned Naira notes at banks and ATMs.
The bank is not working. All the gates have been closed. Even the security men, I don't know where they were now. We started looking for the security. Nobody to even tell us what is happening.
And there's no cash released from the bank. That was the reason they shut down, and people were fighting over it, how to get their cash. So that is just the reason.
The need for the Apex Bank to liaise with commercial banks and come up with plans to effectively distribute the redesigned notes was suggested as crucial at this time. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time now for a break. Nationwide will be back with Lydia in Abuja shortly.
Listen, Akman, Unduka, how I want to do on election day? On election day, I go take my PVC. When I retire, I vote. Now, broom, I go put my hand over Tinubu. On election day, I go take my PVC. When I retire, I vote. Now, broom, I go put my hand over Tinubu.
People of Nigeria, make we all come out on election day and vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as president. Make Nigeria for better. Make you put your hand for APC. If party will show broom, not forget now broom you go put your hand in. Bam!
On election day, I go take my PVC. When I retire, they vote. Now broom I go put my hand over Tinubu.
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque, please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayers. If we want a stable society before, during, and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
The
Medical Directorate of the APC Presidential Campaign Council cordially invites healthcare practitioners and stakeholders to her town hall meeting with the theme, The Bad Health Agenda, Making the Sector Work for All Nigerians. APC presidential candidate Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu will deliver the keynote address. Senator Kashim Shettima, APC vice presidential candidate, will be special guest. Also expected are the Senate President, His Excellency Ahmed Lawan, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, APC National Chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Osagie Ehanire, and other dignitaries. Date Friday, 10th February 2023. Venue, NAF Conference Center, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Admission is strictly by invitation. Call 0803-337-8638. Dr. Aiko Digu, Director, Medical Directorate, APC Presidential Campaign Council, Announcer.
This gets Cabana. Alexander Mitrovic with a lovely glancing header. It's Brennan Johnson. And the flag goes up. Accelerator goal. Johnson into number 2. Brilliant finish. They started up on the back post. William and Mitrovic.
SportyBet sponsors coverage of the English Premier League.
Thank you for staying with us. A government of the People's Democratic Party under Atiku Abubakar will be the most reliable option towards reshaping the destiny of women who in turn carry the destinies of their families. This is the declaration of Hajia Amina Atiku Abubakar while in Kano to canvass support of women for the presidential project of her husband. Elizabeth Yila reports.
On arrival at the ancient city of Kano, Amina Titi Atiku's first point of call was the residence of an elder statesman, business mogul and philanthropist, Aminu Dantata, seeking his wise counsel.
My prayer always is for God to bless us with faithful leaders that will save this country from the challenges it is presently facing. I pray that Nigeria becomes a great nation to the world at large.
The entourage also paid a visit to the leader of Adoria in West Africa, Sheikh Aribullah Nasir Kabara. Titi Atiku proceeded to a town hall meeting with women in the state, which focused on the need to exercise their franchise.
Society, what society has done for him. Society educated him. Society gave him job. And he feels it is time for him. This is the right opportunity and the right time for him.
Through her Foundation for Women Trafficking and Child Labor Eradication, Titi distributed food items to about 2,000 women and gave out scholarship forms to be given to the best secondary school graduating students in the state. In Kano, Elizabeth Yila, NTA News.
The Buhari Media Organization BMO has expressed confidence that the forthcoming general elections will be free and fair, in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's assurances. In a statement by the chairman, Ni Akinsiju, and secretary, Cassidy Maduekwe, the group also declared the president as undoubtedly the best, the most unbiased electoral umpire Nigeria has ever had. With the 2023 general elections a matter of days to go, the group wishes to assure Nigerians of President Buhari's readiness to ensure a free, fair, and credible process, just as he has always done, proving himself a great defender of democracy in Nigeria and indeed Africa. The upcoming 2023 general elections will be the 7th in the history of Nigeria's democratic journey since inception in 1999, and Nigerians in diaspora are prepared to partner top managers in the process to bring about significant changes in the system. The All Nigeria Nationals in the Diaspora and Nigerians American Public Affairs Committee, in collaboration with top election managers, are hitting the ground running for a transparent and credible outcome of 2023 polls. The body says it has been fully accredited by INEC and has the endorsement of both the United Nations and other foreign organizations to observe the process and make far-reaching recommendations that will improve future elections.
To kickstart the project, we are going to make sure that we observe all the elections that is going to happen in Nigeria to make sure that it's free and credible.
So we are taking our time to ensure that in this pre-election period, we will visit all the political parties. We will also go beyond that to visit all the stakeholders. On Monday, a team of our leadership were at the IGP's office to see the Inspector General of Police, to interact because they've always supported us.
We're doing the next best thing that we can do, which is help in any way that we can. And in this instance, the best that we can do is help observe the election and let the world know how free and fair it is.
Since its assignment started in 2011, the group has recruited more hands who are guided by good democratic principles to conduct their affairs during elections in and out of the country. All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sent a congratulatory message to Comrade Joe Ajaero on his election as the new president of the Nigeria Labour Congress. Until his elevation, Ajaero was the deputy president of the NLC and general secretary of the Nigeria Union of Electricity Employees. In a message by Tinubu's spokesman Tunde Rahman, the presidential candidate urged the new NLC president to use his new position for mobilizing the labor movement towards national unity, productivity, and socio-economic justice. The National Population Commission will deploy full digital technology for 2023 census in an attempt not only to produce accurate, reliable, and acceptable data, but provide an inclusive and user-friendly tool that will be used by all segments of the society for development, planning, and critical program interventions. This was while briefing the media at the 24th edition of President Muhammadu Buhari's scorecard series by Chairman of the Commission, Nasir Isa Kwara. Charles Alpha was there.
The 2023 census, if not for nothing, marks a major milestone in the history of the National Population Commission, defying all odds from the COVID pandemic to economic challenge and insecurity. This is why, when the chairman of the commission stood before the media in confidence and assurance of the hard decisions by President Muhammadu Buhari to go ahead with the exercise despite the challenges, a successful exercise to be carried out using full digital technology and an accurate and acceptable, reliable data for global standard is all he could promise Nigerians and those watching.
The counting of every person resident in Nigeria during the census will take place simultaneously in every household in the country.
In a video documentary on the status of preparations for the 2023 population and housing census, the Commission laid bare the methodology and quality of preparations for the census. And with the inauguration of the Population and Housing National Census Publicity Committee, Isa Kwara is confident the census will generate evidence-based demographic data for planning and development processes.
The mobilization of critical stakeholders to support and take ownership of the process to achieve the desired outcome is imperative, and it hinges absolutely on our ability to speak to our people in the language that will galvanize and mobilize them to participate.
The chairman is assuring men, women, and the international community that the Commission is irrevocably committed to ensuring that everything about the 2023 census is done rightly and professionally with a clear vision, commitment, and capacity to deliver. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Next up is Maiduguri, and Abubakar is ready with more reports.
Yeah, good evening and thank you for joining us here. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum has inaugurated 300 units of resettlement houses built for citizens affected by Boko Haram attacks in Romirgo town of Askira Uba local government area and multi-million naira water project at Mbua community in Chibok local government, among other developmental projects executed in southern Borno senatorial district. Mohammed Guni will now bring us more details of the story.
The Rimirgo project is one of the several housing interventions. About 10,000 houses for the settlement of IDPs were freshly built by the Zulum administration. Professor Bagana Umar Zulum, who addressed residents of the community, assured to rehabilitate vandalized electricity lines to reconnect Rimirgo to the national grid. The governor also inaugurated a new junior secondary school in Askira town with classrooms to accommodate about 1,000 students. At the inauguration, each school was presented with uniforms, reading and writing materials, as well as bicycle to ease transportation, especially for those coming from distant places. We can
also provide rigorous opportunity for them to go and study. Let them go search what schools that they want to study. Government will provide scholarships for them so that they will be trained.
While in Askira town, the entourage was at the palace of the Emir of Askira, Dr. Abdullahi Muhammad Askirama II, as part of his engagement there. Governor Bagana Umara also unveiled a water project at Mbwa village in Chibok local government area with capacity to store and distribute 1,250,000 liters of water. Located 5 kilometers away from Chibok town, headquarters of the local government area, the inaugurated water project will serve over 40,000 residents of not just Mbwa village, but also of Chibok town and neighboring communities. The water facility was designed with a storage capacity of 750,000 liter surface tank and 500,000 liter overhead tank. Water source from 20 motorized ponds. Governor said the multi-million executed to provide Chibok and his environment with potable water in fulfillment of his electioneering campaign pledges, and expressed the need to embark on additional water projects to permanently address acute water shortage confronting the area. Commissioner for Water Resources, Tijani Alkali, explained that the water project is powered by 36,000 watts of solar and VA generating set. After the water project in Chibok, Governor stopped over at Gamsiri, a community in the government, to inaugurate a senior secondary school there. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
Away from that now to tell you that 20 vulnerable women and youths selected from 5 communities of 5 local government areas of Borno State have benefited from a cattle fattening program of the National Agency for the Great Green Wall. Umaru Kirawa reports that each of the beneficiaries got a bull, feeds, in addition to startup packs.
The empowerment program of the National Agency for the Great Green Wall in collaboration with Nolia Consults Limited is a deliberate initiative targeted at creating employment opportunity for teeming youth and women. The training, which featured an extensive interactive session where participants asked questions on how to improve their capacities for better results, had modern mechanisms of cattle fattening.
sun koya mana yadda za mu yi kiwon dabbobi, in Allah ya yarda za mu yi amfani da shi har mu zo mu bunkasa a cikin
wannan abun da kuke yi na yaye talaucin nan kun taimaka mana sosai. Allah ya sa ku fi haka, Allah ya kara ku, Allah ya kare ku.
Field officer of the program in Borno, Usman Ali and Mohammed Bukar said the exercise targeted vulnerable persons to give them a sense of belonging and rekindle their hope.
Participants duk abin da aka ba su je su yi amfani da shi kamar yadda wannan National Agency for the Great Green Wall ta ba su, ba wai a ji a sai da su bane.
We just do this thing for eradicate the grassroots poverty. So we pray a good luck to them.
At the end of the program, each participant was presented with starter packs, which includes 2 bulls, supplementary feeds, veterinary drugs and supplements in addition to transport allowance. In Maiduguri, Umaru Kirawa, NTA News.
Nationwide on the largest television network in Africa, the NTA. Let us at this point take a commercial break, but Lydia in Abuja shall return with more stories for us in just a moment.
Fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
look into the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value.
in our own cultural values.
National cash transfer is not a COVID-19.
Invasion 1897 was a deliberate act.
You know, many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
These and applications, there are terms and conditions.
Of course, it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Nambudiko.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori.
On NCC Telecom Weekly, we bring you innovations, trends, policies and stakeholders redefining all sectors of our economy today. Here, you'll see the actors, policymakers and creativity that will shape your mind and business for growth in line with today's reality. Join us every Friday, 5 p.m. on NTA Network and on radio, FRCN Network on Fridays, 8 p.m.
NCC, connecting Nigeria.
Sportybet sponsors coverage of the Italian Serie A.
Into Benjamin Henriks. That's a lovely ball for Timo Werner. And he's denied by the post from Union. Debacher scores! But it is Willi Orban who heads in. Odiol on the back foot. Becker 2-0. This is unbelievable. This is a masterclass from Union Berlin.
Sportybet sponsors coverage of the German Bundesliga.
Welcome back. Ogun State Governor Dakpo Abiodun has visited the victim hit by stray bullet during a violent protest against scarcity of new Naira notes in Abeokuta. Yemi Dalemon reports that the governor once again appealed for calm in the state.
Gabriel Michael, an artisan, is the victim hit by a stray bullet during the protest against scarcity of new Naira notes in Abeokuta, arriving the intensive care unit of the Federal Medical Center, Idiaba, Abeokuta, to sympathize with the victim and his family. The governor of Ogun State, Dakpo Abiodun, explained that immediately he received the heartbreaking news, he directed proper medical attention be given to the victim. The governor expressed satisfaction with the quality of medical attention given to Gabriel, which has greatly improved his condition.
Watching and seeing, a young man, being shot was so heartbreaking. We thought the worst had happened. I quickly called on my entire health team, led my Honorable Commissioner for Health, to ensure that this boy was given prompt attention.
He had that gunshot injury to the arm, and that ruptured a major vessel to that upper limb. He will have lost that upper limb. It penetrated his chest, almost missed his heart. He will have been a dead person.
Governor Abiodun, however, sued for calm, enjoining the people not to vandalize bank facilities.
I'm imploring and pleading with our parents, our guardians, our youth, our students to please ensure that we do not allow this to degenerate or to result in any more violence.
Normalcy has since returned to Abeokuta after the protest in Abeokuta. Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Katsina State Police Command has paraded 15 notorious suspects over thuggery, armed robbery and cattle rustling. The Police Public Relations Officer of the command, Superintendent Gambo Isa, disclosed this while parading the suspects before journalists in Katsina. Suleiman Kodogi has details.
15 suspects were arrested at various locations of the state for their involvement in criminal activities. The state PPRO SP Gambo Isa says the arrest is part of the command's continuous onslaught against all criminality. While parading the suspects, he identified some of them as ex-convicts for committing similar offenses.
That between September to December 2022, they attacked more than 9 houses within the metropolitan area, committed armed robbery therein, which led to the snatching of motor vehicles.
Items recovered from there include 2 Toyota Corolla cars, 3 motorcycles, and 1 double-barrel gun, among other weapons. The PPRO of the command appeals to the members of the public to report any suspicious movement to the security operatives. In Katsina, Suleiman Kodogi, NTA News.
The National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, National Response Against AIDS, and all stakeholders are working closely to ending AIDS as an epidemic across the nation. The Director General of NACA, Gambo Aliyu Gumel, stated this while flagging off a 3-day Northwest Stakeholders Annual Performance Management Progress Review meeting in Dutse. Ibrahim Bello reports.
The National Agency for the Control of AIDS coordinate and sustain advocacy by all sectors for HIV/AIDS and STD expanded responses in Nigeria. Hence, the annual Performance Management Progress Review meeting to review the progress recorded, assess the impact, and look forward to realize the set objectives. Declaring the meeting open, the Director General, NACA, Gambo Aliyu Gumel, stressed the need for stakeholders to work together and ensure periodic testing for HIV/AIDS among Nigerians to curtail its spread and ensure effective medication for those tested positive.
We are very close to making sure that we take HIV out of our community, and we are on course. And in the next 1 to 2 years, we should come to celebrate that we have taken HIV out of the community. HIV is now residing in only people that have them, and HIV is not moving around.
The participants drawn from Northwest states will recap activities of previous year, as well as state-specific performance management roadmap for 2023. The Director General and his entourage were also at the palace of Emir of Dutse, Hamim Nuhu Sanusi, to condole him over the demise of his father, late Emir of Dutse Nuhu Muhammad Sanusi, and congratulate him for ascending the throne of his forefathers as the Emir of Dutse. In Dutse, Ibrahim Bello, NTA News.
Academics from federal universities are to be engaged as returning and collating officers for the 2023 general elections after taking an oath of neutrality. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu announced this at a meeting with Vice Chancellors of federal universities in Abuja.
Without the involvement of our tertiary institutions, especially the universities, the Commission will find it very, very difficult to conduct elections. As in previous elections, we have requested each university for a specific number and category of academic staff as contained in my letter to the Vice Chancellors. And as one who are card-carrying members or have participated in partisan politics should not be nominated. Similarly, those who will not be involved in partisan politics but are known to have obvious political means should not be nominated. Furthermore, those who have been convicted of electoral malpractice must be excluded. The Commission will carefully scrutinize the list, which must be submitted confidentially in the manner prescribed in my letter to you. And like all election duty personnel, each collation and returning officer will swear to an oath of neutrality. And this is a requirement of the Electoral Act 2022.
The Nigerian Communications Commission's Computer Security Incident Response Team is informing mobile users of OneNote attachments in phishing emails which infect victims with remote access malware. This may allow hackers to remotely access vital information on victims' devices. The team advises users not to open attachments in suspicious emails or files from people they do not know, and to immediately exit unknown applications, and to only purchase or download applications from official websites due to discovery of phishing malware that can gain unauthorized access to sensitive user data and further download malware. South Korea's Cybersecurity Emergency Response Center had discovered a net support rat malware with variations disguised as popular card games. Users are told to always update app stores. Small and medium business enterprises operating in and around Bachama Road in the Tudunwada area of Kaduna are on the verge of collapse due to persistent power challenges. Dauda Mohammed visited the area and has an update.
Bachama Road and environs is a close-knit community of more than 200 households inhabited by mainly low-income earners operating small businesses and enterprises. For some weeks, the livelihood of members of the community has come under threat due to unavailability of electricity. Rabiat Mohammed, a 46-year-old mother of 10 children, makes a living selling locally produced drinks made from hibiscus flower and tiger nuts, a trade that has become impossible to continue due to the lingering power challenge in the area. Rabiat is one among several small business owners whose livelihoods are under threat.
We have incurred so many losses because we have to throw away most of our drinks due to lack of electricity. We try to use ice block.
Anytime we go to meet KEDCO officials, they tell us that we don't pay our bills, but that is not true.
Members of the community allege that they were told to contribute funds towards the repairs of the faulty transformer for power supply to be restored in the area. Officials of the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company, KEDCO, however, say they are not aware of any contribution towards the repairs of the transformer.
If electricity is supplied, customers are expected to pay for the electricity. And if they fail to pay, it will be very difficult for the company to generate resources to meet any repair needs. So what we are saying is that the customers should pay their bills.
Members of the community say if the electricity challenge in the area persists, business owners like Rabi will continue to suffer. Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Viewers in Ekiti State and its environs are in for a mind-blowing television experience from the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Ado-Ekiti, as the station sets to commence digital transmission. This is sequel to the digitalization of the station's equipment. Tayo Osho reports.
Many NTA stations across the country have been digitized, and it is now the turn of NTA Ado-Ekiti. Those who are familiar with the station will no doubt appreciate the transformation, particularly as the master control room and the studio now wear a new look with the installation of digital equipment. The team of engineers from NTA headquarters Abuja, led by Acting Assistant Director Engineering SATCOM, Vincent Ola Koyola, are bringing to bear their expertise and professionalism to ensure viewers have a new story to tell about their television experiences. For the General Manager, NTA Ado-Ekiti Segun Ojelade, the digitization is an answer to the station's heartfelt yearnings for improved audiovisual quality. He, however, promised the station's unwavering commitment to its responsibility of informing, educating and entertaining the public.
Appreciation to the Director General of the NTA and his management team for this very great feat. We are at par with some of the best in the business today.
Our screen, I believe, is going to be brighter, it's going to be clean, it's going to be sharper, it's going to be more fascinating, and the members of the public, they will be very happy to have our screen.
The digitization is not only a win for the viewers and the station's management, as it is also a morale booster for members of staff who are ready to manipulate the equipment to serve the viewers better. In Ado-Ekiti, Tayo Osho, NTA News.
Development experts believe that poverty reduction must be effectively tackled at all levels of the Nigerian society to create a future with economically empowered Nigerians through viable programs. Having discovered this, the Akwa Ibom state government is disbursing over 2,500 billion naira to 4,300 women affinity groups as revolving grants. Emedion Umo reports.
Nigeria for Women project is one of the national programs aimed at impacting positively on the lives of all rural dwellers, thereby stimulating economic growth and development at the grassroots. The project, which is in its first phase, is currently implemented in Abia State, Akwa Ibom, Kebbi, Niger, Ogun and Taraba states. In Akwa Ibom State, the project has redefined the economic space of women as they share their success stories.
But since when I joined this group, it has been an easy thing for me to do. As at now, my shop is filled with foodstuff.
Others admonished the women to embrace the program and make judicious use of the resources, bearing in mind that only the affinity groups who meet the criteria will access the revolving grants.
It was also pertinent to design a sustainable economic business program to keep putting the women on the cutting edge of financial inclusion.
Target of the Akwa Ibom State Project Coordinating Unit is to support improved livelihoods of about 56,000 women in the state.
It's not just the issue of the money, but we are looking at building social capital.
High point of the event was the official flag-off and disbursement of livelihood grants to women affinity groups in the 3 pilot local government areas of Akwa Ibom State, which are Oruganam, Ibesikbo and Ona. In Uyo, Emediongumo, NTA News.
Next is sports update.
It is a tense atmosphere